Good evening, all. This is Blandina. In this video, we are going to see the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. First part is quiz. It is followed by the introduction of Canterbury Tales. Next comes the first tale, The Knight's Tale. I already posted 2 videos. In that video, you can see the descriptions about the knight and the knight's son squire. Okay, now we'll see the quiz part. First question. Where is the Queen Hippolyta from? So, where is the Queen Hippolyta from? Option A, Athens. Option B, Scythia. Option C, Prussia. Option D, England. Option B, Scythia, is also known as Amazons, is the right answer. Question number 2. What is the name of the lady who spoke to King Theseus? Option A, Emily. Option B, Hippolyta. Option C, wife of King Capaneus. Option D, Venus. Option C, wife of King Capaneus. Question number 3. How long the wife of King Capaneus and other ladies lamenting and waiting in the temple of goddess Clemency? Option A, 10 days. Option B, fortnight, means 2 weeks. Option C, a week. Option D, 12 days. So it is option B, fortnight. So the wife of King Capaneus and other ladies were waiting in the temple of goddess Clemency for almost 2 weeks. That is fortnight. Question number 4. Who is the Lord and Governor of Thebes city? Option A, Old Creon. Option B, Palamon. Option C, Arcite. Option D, Vulcan. Old Creon. So the Lord and Governor of Thebes city is Old Creon. Question number 5. How did they decide who would tell the first tale? Option A, age-wise. Option B, who reached the inn first. Option C, tabbed inn owner. Option D, who draws the shortest draw. Option D is right. Who draws the shortest draw has to tell the first tale. So who got the shortest draw? That is the knight. So the knight's tale is the first tale. Question number 6. The busy pillagers could pick and choose after the battle what they best could use. Meaning of the word pillagers. Option A, someone who takes spoils or plunder. Option B, a knight. Option C, a monster. Option D, a pilgrim. Option A, someone who takes spoils or plunder. Excuse me. So pillagers are people who go to the battlefield and take valuable things from the dead bodies. So these people are called pillagers. Plunder means loot or steal. So pillagers are persons who steal the valuable things from the dead bodies. Okay, so next we will go to the introduction part of Canterbury Tales. So we already know Canterbury Tales was written by Geoffrey Chaucer. The Canterbury Tales describes a fictional journey from the Tabard Inn in Southwark to Canterbury, 60 miles away. So this is a fictional journey. So all the pilgrims, 29 pilgrims and Chaucer, everybody gathered in Tabard Inn, which is in Southwark. From this inn means hotel, a place to stay, that is Tabard Inn. So they were all staying in this inn. From there they are going to Canterbury. So Canterbury is 60 miles away from Tabard Inn. So what is the purpose of going to Canterbury? I already gave in the other video. So they were going to get the blessings of Saint Thomas Becket. So who is this Thomas Becket? Thomas Becket, the Archbishop of Canterbury from 1162 to 1170, who had been murdered in the cathedral over a disagreement with Henry II. So this Thomas Becket, Archbishop, was killed, murdered. So that place became a religious important place. So everybody is visiting that place to get the blessings of Saint Thomas Becket. Next, the people in that general prologue, they all belonged to 14th century. So the general prologue presents the pilgrims who belonged to 14th century. So in the year 1380, Chaucer had the idea of writing Canterbury Tales. He derived the structure from Giovanni Boccaccio's Decameron. So who is that Giovanni Boccaccio? He is an Italian poet and scholar. So Chaucer had an idea in the year 1380 and he got the structure for it from Giovanni Boccaccio's Decameron. The Canterbury Tales is incomplete. So how is it incomplete? So he derived the structure from Giovanni Boccaccio's Decameron. The Canterbury Tales is incomplete. Why is it incomplete? Because it is decided that each pilgrim must say 2 stories on their way to Canterbury and 2 more stories on coming back. So each pilgrim has to say 4 stories totally. So we already saw that there are 29 pilgrims plus Chaucer, so 30. So 30 into 4, there should be 120 tales totally. Right, but Chaucer wrote only 24 tales. So that is, excuse me, that is incomplete. So what about the stories? The stories must be about adventures that happened in old times. So these pilgrims are going to narrate the stories, right? So what kind of stories they should say? It should talk about adventures that happened in old times. And the best story shall receive a supper at all others cast. Okay, so whoever tells the best story will receive a supper. All the others have to bear the cost. The tabard inn owner says, I will ride with you at my own expense and be your guide. Whosoever will not accept my judgment will pay the expenses. So the tabard inn owner is ready to join them, but he is saying that he has to accept his judgments. Whatever he has to say, the other pilgrims must obey. So if that is agreed, the tabard inn owner is ready to join the pilgrimage. See, if you are ready to accept these, I will get ready for the journey. So if you are ready for the conditions, I am ready to join your pilgrimage. So what is the pilgrim's state? So everybody accepted the conditions and they said okay. So the tabard inn owner would be our governor and judge and scorekeeper for the tales. So the tabard inn owner would be our governor and judge and scorekeeper for the tales. We already saw that the best story will receive a supper, right? So who will decide who told the best story? It is the tabard inn owner. So they had supper and drank some wine and went to rest. Next day morning, they started the pilgrimage and stopped at the watering of St. Thomas. So they started the journey, but they stopped before the statue of St. Thomas. Why they stopped? Because they have to decide who has to tell the first story. So they used straws for that. So what is the condition? So whoever has the shortest straw has to begin the tale. So whoever got the shortest straw has to tell the first tale. So who got the shortest straw? It is the knight. So the knight got the shortest straw. So that is why the knight's tale is the first tale. Now we'll go to the tale by the knight. So the knight started narrating his story. A duke or prince named Theseus was the lord and governor of Athens. So Theseus was the king of Athens. There was no one greater under the sun, and he won many powerful countries. There was a great battle between Amazons and Athens. So this Theseus was a great king because it is said that no one greater under the sun. And not only that, he won many powerful countries, not weak countries. He won many powerful countries. So currently there was a battle going on between Amazons and Athens. So Hippolyta was the queen of Scythia, that is Amazon. So Hippolyta was the queen of Amazon. What happened in the battle? She lost in the battle. So if someone has lost in the battle, so what they have to do? They have to do something, right? They have to give money or they have to leave the kingdom. and if it is female, they have to marry the king. So the same way here, what happened? Hippolyta has to go with Theseus. So he conquered all the land of the Amazon. He married Queen Hippolyta. He also brought Hippolyta's younger sister Emily to Athens. So King Theseus fought with Amazon. Who is the queen of Amazon? Hippolyta. So Hippolyta lost in the battle. So she has to go with Theseus to Athens. She has to leave her own country, Amazon, and she has to move to Athens. She is not the only one going with Theseus. Who is going with her? Her younger sister, Emily, also going with her. Okay, so I hope you understood. Now, Theseus, almost nearing Athens, notices a company of ladies, 2 by 2, dressed in black, crying. Theseus asked the ladies, "Why are you ruining my festive mood with crying?" So he almost neared Athens. He was in a festive mood. He won Amazon, he won the country, right? So he married Hippolyta. So he was very happy, and he is almost nearing to his own country, Athens. But before that, he saw a group of ladies. They are sitting 2 by 2. They all dressed in black and were crying. So he asked them, "Why are you spoiling my festive mood?" So the eldest lady, so in the group, there was an eldest lady. The eldest lady spoke to Theseus. Who was that eldest lady? She was the wife of King Capaneus. This King Capaneus died at Thebes. So, and all the other women also lost their husband. So she is the queen. Now, she and other ladies, everybody lost their husbands. And she was saying thanks be to fortune and her false wheel. So this is an important line they may ask. That's why I included it. It means the wheel of fortune represents a good or bad fortune. We all know that the wheel won't stay in a particular place. It has to move, right? So those who are on the upper side will come down, and those who are in down may come higher. So the same thing happened. That is why she's mentioning that. See, I was the queen, but now I am not the queen anymore. And anyone with good fortune could suddenly have their fortune reversed. She was the queen, but now she was not the queen anymore. And she was weeping, and she begged Theseus to help her. So she was pleading Theseus to help. Why was she pleading, and why these people were waiting? She said, "We were waiting in the temple of the goddess Clemency all this fortnight." And she is saying that we were waiting here in the temple for the last 2 weeks. So why are they waiting for last 2 weeks? The old Creon, now the lord of the city Thebes, piled up all the dead bodies in a heap and won't allow to be buried or burned. Instead, he makes hounds to eat them as an insult. We already saw that the wife of King Capaneus told Theseus that her husband died in the war, right? So this old Creon fought with them and killed everyone. And after that, he is not giving the dead bodies, and he put the bodies in a heap, and he is not allowing these people to be buried or burned. Instead, he is making the dogs to eat all the dead bodies as an insult. That's why the wife of Capaneus and the other ladies were lamenting and waiting in the temple of goddess Clemency. So Theseus jumped down from his horse with compassionate heart. He heard them speak and comforts them. So as soon as he heard the story from the old lady, he jumped down from his horse and he heard their story and he comforts them. He swore his oath to avenge the tyrant Creon. So he said to them, "Don't worry, I will avenge the old Creon." He says all the people of Greece should speak how Creon was treated by Theseus. So I am going to teach a lesson to that old Creon. So all the people of Greece will speak how I treated Creon. Okay. So that night he camped on his way. He sent Hippolyta and Emily to Athens. A large white banner, in it the red statue of Mars with spear and shield was shining. So he sent his wife Hippolyta and Hippolyta's younger sister Emily to Athens. Now he is going to Thebes city to war against old Creon. So this night he camped on his way, and he had a large white banner, red color statue of Mars with spear and shield was shining. And near this banner, his pennon means a triangular shaped flag, okay, of rich gold, in which embroidered the Minotaur. Minotaur means a creature or monster. How it will be? The body of a human, head of a bull. Sorry, there was two times bull. So the body is human body, head is bull's head. So that is called the creature Minotaur. So in his pennon, I already told you pennon is a flag, triangular shaped flag. In this embroidered this Minotaur. So which he defeated in Crete. So King Theseus defeated this Minotaur in Crete that was embroidered in this pennon. He fought and slew the king of Thebes. So he fought with old Creon and he killed the king of Thebes. So he gave back to the ladies the bones of their husbands to do obsequies. Obsequies means funeral rites and the custom. So it has been 2 weeks already, right? So most of the bodies were eaten by the birds and the vultures, maybe dogs. So he's returning whatever is remaining to the ladies to do the funeral custom. Next. So he killed Creon and won Thebes. That night Theseus stayed there and took rest. So he fought in a battle. He couldn't return to Athens that night itself. So he was staying there itself. So the pillagers, we already saw what is pillagers, right? Pillagers were searching in the heap of dead bodies. So they were searching if they can get some valuable things. In that pile, they found two young knights lay side by side with same coat of arms that were richly wrought, richly made. So two young knights lay side by side wearing coat of arms. That is, coat of arms means a protection gear. So it was made richly. See, if you see the dress, you can say, um, is it costly or not, right? The same way, as soon as the pillagers see that coat, they can say it is richly made. Next, so the two knights, one was called Orsit and the other knight was called Palamon. So the two young knights, so they are cousins actually, born of two sisters. So one is Orsit and another one is Palamon. So they were not fully alive nor fully dead. By their coats and by their equipment, we knew that they were of the royal blood. That is, the way they dressed and the weapons they carry tells them that they belong to the royal blood. So the pillagers, what they are doing, carried them to Theseus. So they pulled out from the heaps of dead bodies and they are carrying it to Theseus. He sent them to Athens to dwell in prison. So King Theseus sent these two young knights, Orsit and Palamon, to dwell in prison. So here ends the part of the story, because it is a long story. We cannot do it in a single video. So the remaining part, we will do it in the next video. So I hope you will go through this again and again, and you have to point out all the important points, point out every important informations in it. So in Crete, he defeated the Minotaur. So what was the banner he was carrying? He was carrying a white banner. He was carrying a white banner. In it, red statue of Mars with spear and shield was shining. So he defeated the Minotaur in Crete. So who spoke to King Theseus? The old lady. Who is that old lady? The eldest lady. Who is that eldest lady? She was the wife of King Capaneus. So point out all the important things and try to remember it once or twice. So we'll see in the remaining part in the next video. Thank you.